Oh, wow. Yeah, they told us. This meeting is being recorded. And I look forward to sharing it with you on the internet later, should you want to return back to it. um, yeah, so let's just take a seat, take an asana, take a resting place, whatever that looks like to begin. And just giving yourself a few moments to land in the space that you're in, whether that's to look around with your eyes to orient or to feel into what's underneath you, the temperature of the air around you. And just finding your way into a point somewhere in your inner body that welcomes you. It might be the belly or the throat or the heart. Just a place that's calling you. And you can let yourself rest there with your breath. And I'll read to you a little bit about Shakti. You might keep your eyes open or close them as you like. Shakti, the power and skill in the use of power, ability, strength, capability, efficacy of a remedy, the energy or active power of a deity personified and worshipped by the Shakta, a sect of Hinduism, the female organ, as worshipped by the Shakta sect, either actually or symbolically, the power or signification of a word, the power or force or most effective word of a sacred text or magic formula, the creative power of imagination. So this Shakti is the word for all things that animate, the divine feminine energy, right? And right here it says the power or most sacred part of a text or formula. Shakti is power in all forms. She is the energy or active power of the divine. She is the power of generation and creativity, the power of words, the energy of mantras, and the creative power of imagination. Shakti is prana Shakti, the life force expressing herself as the flow of energy through the body. Shakti is Mother Nature. Meditate on Shakti as the dynamic breath of life within you. In the middle, madhya, of the motion of breathing, delight in the splendor of life. Attend to breath as play. Enjoy the rushing motion toward the end of the exhalation and the inhalation, and savor the tiny movements as the flow reverses from one to the other. There are little moments at the end of the exhale and again at the end of the inhale when the air is not moving in a specific direction. It's not still. It's like a river with eddies and swirls, and the blood is absorbing oxygen and giving off carbon dioxide. A lot is happening, but it's a quiet space of refreshing calmness. You can rest your attention in these turnings. A thoughtlessness opens up. In these moments, life is twiddling its thumbs, rebooting. In this quiet swirling, you can say to yourself, I am filled with the power of life. So just inviting yourself into this practice of noticing these sweet pauses, they're called kumbhaka, that happen in between the breaths, at the end of the exhale, at the end of the inhale. A lot things are happening internally, even as you are in rest. A lot is happening, but it's a quiet space of refreshing calmness. You might bring your palms together in front of your heart as a gesture of drawing in to open up. And if you like to begin with Om, you can start there, or just a deep breath in and out. Take your time, make your way to hands and knees, tabletop position. And just do some wiggles here. Move it around, whatever feels right in your body. Arching and rounding. If you want, you can take some big circles with the ribs and the hips. Eventually landing back towards child's pose on the way to rabbit pose, so you can bring the knees pretty close in. Cup your heels with your hands or interlace your fingers at your low back. And then round forward onto the crown of your head. Puff the back of your ribs up towards the sky. Take your time. When you're ready, you can roll back down to child's pose. And then sneak your body forward for cobra pose. Draw across the mat. Draw your heart forward. Exhale to lower back down to the earth. Keep going like that. Inhale, rise up, cobra pose. Forward. Exhale, lower down. One more time, big cobra. Hands can come out wide. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, right ear down, look up and over to the left. Take your time, find center. Inhale, sternum lifts. Left ear down, exhale. In the middle, big breath. All the way down to the earth. Hands by your sides. Roll your shoulders back, heart open. Locust pose when you're ready. Hands or legs could stay down, or everything lifts. Notice how the low back wants to tighten and take all the work. Let your legs do some of this. Stretch back through the tops of your toes. Big inhale. Exhale to lower. Stretch back to tabletop. And when you're ready, you can tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Big breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. You can step or hop up to the top of the mat. Take your time, halfway lift, deep breath. Exhale, fold. Feet can come even wider. Any variation with the arms here. Maybe sway the torso a little side to side. Some balance between rest and dynamic breath moving through you. When you're ready, you can bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, and slowly round up. Really take your time. Head is heavy all the way up to the top. And then reach your arms up towards the sky. Big breath in. Careful of your fans. Hands to your heart. Chair pose, slow. Sit back. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step your right foot back. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, left foot back. High plank. Press the earth away. Deep breath in behind your heart. Slow chaturanga or knees down, whatever your body needs here. Cobra or upward facing dog. Good, slowly back to downward facing dog. Right leg stretches up and back into the sky. Step your right foot forward, high lunge, take your time. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, sweep your arms back by your hips, bow your torso forward, long through the crown. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep the arms back. One more time, inhale, rise. Exhale, bow forward, hands open, big inhale. Airplane pose. Bend your knee deeply and then launch. And then where can you soften and have this still be happening, right? Is there a little softness in the heart, in the shoulders, in the chin? All the way up to standing. Hug your left knee in. Eagle pose. Wrap your left leg over. You might use your left toes as a kickstand on the earth and sit deep. And then maybe left arm under. back to chair pose. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your left foot back. Exhale, step your right foot back, high plank. Big breath in. Take your time, chaturanga or knees down. Cobra or upward facing dog. Good, downward facing dog. Big exhale. Left leg up and back. Step your left foot forward, high lunge. Feel your back leg strong to support you. Inhale. Exhale, arms sweep back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. One more time, deep breath in, pull your outer left hip back. Good, exhale, bow forward. Stay for the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, launch, airplane pose. Right hip maybe turns down towards the earth just a little bit so your left tush can pull back. And when you're ready, slowly up to standing. You might pause with the right knee in, get tall, and then eagle pose. Right leg over, right arm under. One side is usually way wackier to balance, so just meet your body where it is. It might feel good to open the arms or take eagle arms. Right. Whatever your body's calling for today. Chair pose when you feel ready. Sit back. All the way up to standing. Hands to heart. Hook your thumbs. Inhale, reach up, arch back. Exhale, fold. Interlace your fingers. Hands lift up and over. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Keep the interlace open through your chest. Good, hug your right knee in. Warrior 3, right heel stretches back. You can keep the interlace or let it go at any time. Good, bend your front leg. Warrior 1 in the feet. You could keep the interlace. Inhale, straighten your left leg, lift your heart. Exhale, bend your knee, humble warrior. Hands can lift up and over the head. You can let the interlace go if that doesn't feel good, and hands can come down to support you on the earth. Eventually, you'll release the interlace. Bring your hands down. Peel up onto the ball of the back foot. And lift your left arm. Big twist open. Strong through your right shoulder. Side plank. Outer edge of the right foot. Step your left foot back. Forearm side plank is the next shape. Take your time. Your left forearm can cross over the top of the mat. Flex your toes back towards your face and lengthen through your rib cage. Forearm plank, forearms to the earth. Deep breaths. Stretch back through your inner heels. And lots of options from here. Dolphin pose, you could walk your feet in. You could stay in forearm plank. You could lift the leg up, either in forearm plank or in dolphin. Check out what your shoulders are up to. Just leave some space for the neck here. Good, whenever you're ready, you're gonna melt down onto your knees. Sit back, interlace your fingers. I'll show you from the side view. You can reach your knuckles back and just floss your shoulders together open. You could reach all the way back, depending on how long your arms are, and touch your fingertips down to your inner toes. Yeah. Good, and then rolling forward for that variation of rabbit pose. Take your time to land, and then lift with your hands. Release back when you're ready. Rise up to tabletop. We'll thread the needle, right arm up towards the sky, and thread it back behind your left wrist. Slow, deep breaths here. You don't have to force this twist. It's already happening. So you're just supporting your inner body as it's happening. Good. When you feel ready, you'll bring your left hand in to support you. Sweep your right arm up and out. And then hand to the earth, round your back. Press the floor away. Inhale, arch your back, lengthen your spine. And this time as you round, you're gonna press down, lift your shins a little bit away from the earth, just a little bit, pressing into the tops of the toes. Good, lower your knees, inhale, arch your back. Exhale, press the earth away, maybe lift your shins and knees just a little bit, lengthen your toes. One more time, drop your knees, inhale, lengthen. Take your time, exhale, round, maybe lift the shins. Legs come back down. Lengthen through your spine. When you're ready, left arm up towards the sky. And then thread it through behind the right wrist. There's lots of construction happening outside, so if you hear a rumbling, that's what's happening.
Jackhammering. Just some 6 p.m. jackhammering.
Take your time to breathe into the space between your ribs here. Anybody who lives in Carborough right now knows exactly what we're talking about. And when you're ready to unravel, sweep your left arm up, open through your chest, and hand down to the earth. This time, you're gonna tuck your toes under, and same thing. Inhale, arch your back, gaze up. On your exhale, round, lift your knees, press down into your toes. Yeah. Good, gently lower the knees. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round, belly button to spine. Lift your knees just a little bit. You can look down towards your inner thighs. One more time, inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round, maybe a little levitation here. Make your back heel springy, bend your knees a little bit. We're gonna hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Malasana, yogic squat. So you're really feeling into the energy of opposites here. Tailbone reaching down towards the earth as the crown of your head and your heart lift up. Making space in the middle. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Forward fold. When you feel ready, turn your toes forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, sit back. Swim your hands around to your lower back. Interlace the awkward way. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. And slowly, warrior 3. You can play with it, yeah. Bend and straighten the standing leg. Externally rotate your right thigh. Just explore here. Eventually, warrior one is waiting for you. Keep the interlace, lift your heart, straighten your right leg. And exhale, humble warrior. Fold forward, maybe the hands lift up. If lifting the hands up makes you feel more like you don't have a neck, right, and your shoulders are creeping up, try reaching the hands back instead. Make more space along your cervical spine. Good, when you're ready, left hand comes down, peel up onto the ball of the left foot, reach your right arm up, twist open. Firm up your left shoulder on your back, outer edge of your left foot, step your right foot back, side plank. Take your time from your center, forearm plank, other side. Outer edge of your right foot. Forearm plank, facing the earth. Deep inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees, untuck your toes, Sphinx pose. Spread your fingers wide. Feel your upper arm bones rotate back toward your side body. Yeah, collarbones open. If it feels right to your body today, left forearm could cross over the top of the mat like forearm plank. Reach back, right hand helps to hug your right heel in towards your right tush. If your knees or your back are not feeling it today, perfect, Sphinx pose, and you keep breathing. Notice, check out, like on the side that you're pulling in on the right side, does the right hip lift away from the earth at all? Can you keep lengthening through your hip flexor and through the top of your knee? Yeah. Good, gently release. And we'll switch sides. Gentle release, come all the way down onto your belly. You can bend your knees, resting your head on your hands, and windshield wiper your feet side to side. Bow pose any way you like. You could bend your knees, reach back. You could stay on the earth and just kick back with your legs, keep your belly down. Or hold your ankles, kick back, and lift up away from the floor. But it might not take full bow to find the opening, right? You might like to reach back for your ankles and just press your shins back towards the back of the mat and feel the opening in your quads here. You can play with flexing or pointing your feet. Release when you're ready. Walk your hands up by your sides, tuck your toes. High plank on an exhale. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Stretch your right leg up and back into the sky, big breath. Step your right foot forward. Warrior one, inhale, lift up. Exhale, open out, warrior two. Flip your palms, exalted warrior, reach up and back. Extended side angle. Both arms past your ears. You could interlace your fingers and press the heels of your hands out as you lengthen through your side body. Exalted warrior when you're ready. Half moon onto your front foot. Take your time, deepen the bend, and then launch off your back foot. All the way up to standing, hug your left knee in. Figure four or tree pose, whatever works for your body today. You might like to stretch your arms long or out to the side for some wingspan support as you sit back. Good. The release is chair pose, so you'll lift up and out, sit back in your seat. Bring your hands to your heart, take a breath, and twist to the right any way you like. Heart can twist, your arms can open. Shift your weight into your right foot. Squeeze your left heel towards your left bum cheek. And you might like to stretch your left leg back. Good. Hug the inner knees together. Find center, chair pose. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Deep inhale. You could play with a little handstand hop here, or step or hop back to chaturanga. Take your time if you're flowing through, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Left leg up and back. Inhale. Left foot forward, warrior one. Feel your feet on the earth first, then rise. Warrior two. Exalted warrior, lift up. Extended side angle. We'll pause for a couple breaths if it feels right for your body. Both arms could reach past your ears. Exalted warrior, inhale. Half moon onto your left foot. Whenever you're ready, you can rise up to standing. Maybe touch the right foot down or hug your right knee in for figure four or tree pose. Lengthen through the top, lengthen down through your feet, but also expand out through your side body. Breathe into your width. Chair pose eventually. Hug your hands in towards your heart. Take a big breath and twist to the left. And then you might like to shift your gaze towards the earth for support. You're gonna come into your left foot, squeeze your right heel towards your right bum cheek, and maybe stretch the right leg back. Bring the inner knees back together, chair pose, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Walk your feet out, loop your big toes with peace sign fingers. Halfway lift, lengthen through your side body. Exhale, fold, elbows out, side to side. Malasana yogic squat when you're ready. And the option to stay right here and breathe, you could take crow pose from here, or you could play with a twist. Right hand down, left arm open. And if you're twisting, take your time, come back through center, twist open to the other side. And then you have literally all the choices for how you get back to down dog. It could be planting your hands and stepping back. It could flow through, or anything else that your body is needing. Lion's breath once you get there. Stretch your right leg up and back into the sky, and we'll bring the right shin forward across the top of the mat. A little lift to make some space, setting up for pigeon pose. Yeah. You could even interlace your fingers at your low back and pull your knuckles back towards your inner left thigh. Stay for as long as feels good. And then melt towards the earth. You might like to bring your right shin a little bit further forward. Wiggle around a little bit. And let your heart melt down towards the floor. So anytime we're breathing, anytime we're moving, anytime we're creating, Shakti is at play. Because Shakti ultimately, as the animating force, is what comes through and gives life to any object, including us. And just explore what it's like to track the movement of life force through your body in this particular shape. Where does it feel like the breath originates? Is it your pelvic floor? Is it your belly? Is it your heart? And how does that birth of a new breath, that awakening of Shakti, how does it move through your system? Where does it land at the peak of the inhale? And where does it expand out to as you exhale? Whenever you're ready, you'll start to walk your hands in. You're just going to gently turn towards your left, so dropping onto your right hip for Janu Shirshasana, facing the side. You tuck your right foot in. Left arm over your left leg, reach your right arm up and over. Inhale, just slowly rise up. We're just going to gently turn to the right. You can bring your left hand outside your right knee for a moment. And then turn to the left. Left hand behind your left hip. Reach your right arm up. Orient your heart towards your left toes. You can reach for the inside or the outside of your left leg as you fold forward. It's okay. You can stay in this twist for as long as you like. Gomukhasana, shoelace pose is our next shape. So when you're ready, you might like to stay facing sideways if you like support on your ankles. You're gonna wrap your left knee on top of your right, facing literally whatever direction you like. Yeah. Wiggle around a little bit. Because I've been sitting in a chair all day, this is how it begins. And if you like, you can bring left hand to left knee, right hand to right knee, and sort of integrate them in towards center. You might like to bring a pillow under your tush. Yeah. And then take some deep breaths here. If there's a fold, if there's a twist to the left, let it happen organically. Pyramid pose is going to be the next shape. So if you stayed facing sideways, that might be nice, or you can do this sideways and not be on your mat, and that's perfect, right? We're going to turn to the right where your top foot is, plant your foot, and then use your hands to stretch both legs straight. Probably the left leg lands in front, but literally whatever. It's perfect. Make a little space, halfway lift, and then fold forward from here. Let your head hang heavy. You could stay at center or left hand to your left hip, pull it back, lengthen your heart forward. Maybe look over to the left. And maybe your left arm lifts. Both hands rest on the earth. Gentle bend in your front leg. Standing splits. Shift your weight forward. You can let your head hang. You can take a handstand hop. You could reach up with your left hand for your right toes. I don't know if that's happening today for me. Step your right foot all the way back when you're ready. Drop your right knee to the earth. Half splits. Straighten your left leg. You could come forward and back a couple times, bend and straighten. And any variation of Hanumanasana splits pose that feels right for you today. Soft jaw. Let the front of your pelvic bowl lift just a little bit as your tailbone lengthens back. Yeah. Options to release this are to step back to down dog, to sweep your left leg up and back. Right, take your time, scoop your left heel in. You might even take flip dog once you get there. Just feel into what's available here. Good, and then we're gonna bring that same left shin forward to the top of the mat. And unless I really fucked it up, we're on the other side here. Okay, good. All right, make some space. Lengthen through your heart, lengthen through your ribs. And then there's a little bit of a surrender. There's a melt here as you start to come down. The pelvis descends, the ribs sort of soften together at the front of you. Yeah. Your eyes can relax back. They don't have to be reaching out to find a thing. And whatever moment you're in, whatever temperature you're in, whatever people you're surrounded by, sounds, smells, feels, is there space to really welcome that in as part of the practice? As part of the practice of presence. If you feel your front leg getting numb, that's a-okay, right? And if you want to take some of the pressure out of it, you can play around with like really invigorating your back leg, stretching back through the tops of your toes. Yeah, lengthen your knee back a little bit and see how that changes your engagement with the front leg. Janu Shirshasana, when your body feels ready for a side bend, you can slowly walk it in. Drop onto your left tush, extend out through your right leg. Yeah, widen your left sitting bone a little bit. Right arm over your right leg. And just a gentle side bend up and over. Slowly lift up, turning to the left, maybe right hand outside your left knee. And then we'll twist to the right, right hand tense behind you. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Reach for the inside or outside of your right leg. You can also wrap a towel or a strap around the sole of your right foot and hold it in your left hand. Inhale to slowly rise up. We're going to wrap right leg on top of left for Gomukhasana. Separate your feet a little bit, wiggle around. Good. Tailbone descends towards the earth, crown of the head lifts. You could stay right here. You could fold forward or twist to the right. When it feels like time, you can start to extend up. You're going to move towards the left, plant your hands, and stretch both legs straight for pyramid pose, right foot forward. Little halfway lift, make some space. And exhale to fold in. Invitation to maybe bring your right hand to your right hip, pull it back. Maybe look over to the right. Possibly revolve, triangle with the right arm up. Take a big inhale where you are. Exhale, hands down to the earth. Gently bend the front knee to shift your weight forward. Standing splits. Left toes up. Any exploration you want to take here. When it feels like time, You'll slowly step your lifted leg back, drop your left knee, straighten your right leg for half splits. Maybe spider forward and back a couple times to bend and straighten. Eventually, maybe landing in some variation of splits pose. Lately, I've been exploring this one with the back leg bent at a 90-degree angle. So you can play around with pointing and flexing the feet. Yeah, just take your time with it. Have some pillows around so you can cushion. Deep, slow breaths. Even as the movement gets slower, the vitality of the breath stays the same here. Take as much time as you like. Eventually, you could step back to down dog. You could sweep your right leg up and back and shake it out. Maybe even flip dog. And then lower both feet to the earth for downward facing dog. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Good. Lift your heels, bend your knees, hop forward to a seat. Boat pose, Navasana. Sitting back on your tush, you can hold the backs of your thighs, wiggle around a little bit. Yeah, find some length in your spine. And we're just gonna swim a little bit, hands to heart center. Swim your right elbow to the right, and then left elbow to the left. And get into a little breathing rhythm that feels good to you. Maybe inhale, right, exhale, left, or double time, whatever feels good. And then here, just switch, right? If you've been inhaling on the right, inhale on the left. Inhale, find center, deep breath in, lift up. Exhale all the way down onto your back. Happy baby pose, hug your legs in, shake it out, or squeeze the knees in towards your chest. We're gonna set up for mostly whatever your body needs here, right? The invitation of bridge pose or wheel pose, but if something else feels good, by all means, right? Lying on your back, you could take figure four like we did standing, and find that in a deeper way without having to navigate the balance. Bridge pose or wheel pose if it's calling to you. And if you're lifting up in a heart opener, make sure you take time to come down to rest. You could stretch your legs up towards the sky, shake your feet, or flex your toes back towards you. If you're in figure four, you could switch sides. And then if it feels right for your body, we'll move in the direction of an inversion, which might look like shoulder stand. It might look like coming over to your couch. All right, I'll show you here. Snuggling your tush up. And you're just gonna swing your legs up, right? So that your sacrum is supported, your spine can be long, and your legs can relax. Another option of this is block underneath your lower back, right? So just take your time here. Explore what feels good. If your legs are up the wall or over the couch, they might like to be extended or bent or in Baddha Konasana. And we'll take about 10 breaths here. So if you're moving through the shoulder stand series, just moving at your own speed back into plow pose when you're ready. For some folks, it feels really nurturing and supportive. Maybe you have a friend there and they can wrap either a blanket around your feet or put, you know, a bag of peas or a sandbag on your feet for a little bit of weight to soften you down into your sacrum on the earth. So you're welcome to play with that. Maybe you have a cat who would like to volunteer. And if you're moving through the shoulder stand series, you can make your way towards supported fish. If you've got legs up the wall, you could choose to stay right there or grab a pillow or a block, snuggle it behind your heart. You can lay back over it, arms open wide. Wherever you are, just breathing all the way up to your throat. Feel it open and exhale out through your mouth. melt your legs down away from the wall to release down from fish pose. Eventually coming down onto your back to maybe take a final twist or another happy baby pose, whatever's calling to you here. Whatever final movements your body needs. Something really amazing about sort of the teaching of Shakti is that this is the animating force of the universe, and that I think that we often think of it as something that we need to do something to receive. Like I have to get rest in order to be infused with energy. I have to do these certain practices in order to have access to this thing. And the truth is, the practices of rest, the practices of yoga are all valuable and really important in their own right. And I think there's something really moving and profound about the idea that Shakti is not held back from anyone. That it is an energy of vitality and life force that is literally available to every single human. It is the ultimate offering of true spaciousness, inclusiveness. And this is something really powerful, right? In a world where we do a lot of practices to receive some help, some benefit, so valuable and important. And I think there's also something really important about knowing that there is a life force, there is a force that allows us to create, to sustain, to dissolve, to transform, and that force is available to us right here, right now, without any gatekeeping of any kind. When we talk about Shiva and Shakti, Shiva is the energy of consciousness, the energy of creating an idea, a container. But it is not animated without the creative energy of Shakti. It would be like being inside this body, this container, but without anything happening on the inside. The vitality comes from the inside out. The container is required, and the vitality is created and sustained from the inside out. And it is our birthright. So just notice what it feels like to receive the truth of that you have this nurturing, creative life force inside of you. That no matter what state your heart and your body and your mind and your spirit are in right now, that it is here, it is moving through you, it is deeply supportive and available. That it is yours and simultaneously belongs to something that is so universal that it can't really belong to any of us. But it is an energy that deeply connects us all. So finding your way into Shavasana, into a resting pose if you haven't already. And just remind your system that this rest is valuable in its own right. You don't have to rest to be more productive or to receive some blessing. The rest is yours. You deserve it and you are worthy of it. And it is part of honoring the rhythms of your body. There are little moments at the end of the exhale and again at the end of the inhale when the air is not moving in a specific direction. But it is not still. It is like a river with eddies and swirls. A lot is happening, but it's a quiet space of refreshing calmness. You can rest your attention in these turnings. In this quiet swirling, you can say to yourself, I am filled with the power of life. Or you could say a prayer like, the divine is breathing in me the breath of life. You can think or repeat the word Shakti as a mantra, uttering it as an inner expression of awe. Whenever you use a Sanskrit word as a mantra, whisper it softly for a couple of minutes as you are getting used to the word. If the word is right for you, it will continue to resonate in your awareness. From there, you can follow it into spaciousness. Amma amma taye Annapurneshwarini Akilandeshwaritaye Oh Adipara Shakti niye Amma amma taye Annapurneshwarini Akilandeshwaritaye Oh Adipara Shakti niye Amma amma taye Annapurneshwarini Akilandeshwaritaye Oh Adipara Shakti niye Adipara Shakti niye Adipara Shakti niye. Start to deepen your breath in your own timing. If more rest is calling to you, you can stay right where you are. Just honoring that there's no rush here to be any other place than right exactly as you are. And I'll read to you about our card. Today we got the bat card, which is really kind of a magic card. There's a moon over the bat, and the bat's wings are extended out. And it's in the air sign category. And the bat represents darkness and letting go, death leading to rebirth. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause things to prosper. The bat shows up to signify the ending of a chapter. The bat comes swiftly, helping us to fly on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns. No need to linger in the past. When this energy is out of balance, we get stuck in refusing to let go. And when it's in balance, we have the capacity to accept, adapt, and evolve. So sweet and interesting. Last week, we also got a card of the night. I can't remember what it was. It was a divine feminine card. So we're getting all these forms of Shakti showing up in the form of animal medicine, right? And the beauty of this Shakti, this animating life force, is that part of it helps to animate us through release, right? Like, it doesn't just animate the beginning of things or the sustainment of things. It also helps to invigorate us to release. It helps to animate and support us in the creative capacity of endings as well, right? And we often think of endings as this like full stop. Nothing is available here. But this is this deep invitation that an ending or a pause or a transformation actually requires a great deal of life force, right? In order for us to really juice the lessons that we're meant to receive from that ending and that release. And the bat really invites us to revel in the process of kind of flying around and through the darkness as we are transforming. Yeah. So thank you all so much for being here. It's such an honor to be with you. I'm so grateful to get to practice this medicine of the heart with you.